Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 1313 podcast, the most mediocre podcast in the Star Wars universe. I'm Jacob.
And I'm Jackson.
Welcome back to you folks, and to the rest of you folks. Welcome.
I was going to say we're on a Halloween intro this week because now we're soon getting into spooky month.
It is spooky
Jacob, how does
month.
that make you feel?
It is spooky month. It's like how white women, the second Halloween is over. They're like, it's so that's me with Halloween. The 2nd September rolled in. I'm like, you told me that we're baking Halloween early. Also, with Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party happening, pretty much it already started. So all the Halloween stuff is already rolling here. I'm like, it's Halloween. So I'm back at it again. So my yearly it's like a tradition at this point that I read this book around this time of year. So I hype, but it's Halloween. Notice the logo in the background and the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party shirt, even though I haven't gone.
Heck yeah. No, but sorry, I'm touching.
Oh, what are you doing? Oh, now I can't even hear him.
Better flap around.
There he is.
You can't hear me?
I can now.
Oh, okay. It was just probably for the brief second the bird cancellation was working because there are a lot of tropical birds around me right now that I don't want getting in. I am upset, so this week I am recording with my AirPods because I had the new wireless mics that I just used in the vlog, and it will, if I'm using StreamYard on my phone like I am right now, it only works for one audio thing, so I can't change what the audio input and output is. So that's a ripperoonie. But if you did not already check out the Comic-Con Honolulu vlog, I would totally encourage you to check it. It was a ton of fun. We got these Holy Land wireless mics at the last minute, thanks to a very kind person on Facebook Marketplace who is selling a bunch of his camera and audio equipment. But I really like how it turned out. I ended up doing some like mic'd up like trooping too for the 501st, and we're going to use that footage and convert it to hopefully make advertisements and shorts for our local outpost here to maybe use as recruitment material. So super excited about that. Overall, the con was really fun. I met Jennifer Hale, who is the voice of Ayla Secura, and my signature is on the inside for that, but she was really nice. But in November, there's going to be Amazing Comic-Con, also at the Hawaii Convention Center. And I was telling Jacob, they have a lot of like pretty notable people already like lined up, and they keep announcing guests like every few days. So they have the person who voices Inosuke in Demon Slayer, who already is like a titan in a lot of other animes. He's Eren in Attack on Titan, Kirito in Sword Art Online, Meliodas in Seven Deadly Sins, so he's out there. They also have the lady who's voicing, what was it? Tandros Nezuko in Demon Slayer, and they also have the person who voices Luffy in One Piece. The One Piece is real. No, but yeah, so a lot of people so far, and they're still announcing more guests. So maybe we shall see who else they bring in. But I did apply for press for 1313 for that event, and I know that they know who I am because they looked at my private Instagram and accidentally liked one of my old photos, which was funny. But we'll see if I get press for the event or not. If I don't, I'll still obviously be there with the 501st.
Cool. I don't know if there's any cons going around here.
There's
a Comic-Con, but
yeah, Comic-Con. That's the only one I can think of.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna go. Nothing like really it comes around Orlando, but still on my radar for concerts and music. That's what I'm worried about. I'd rather go to a show than a con, if I'm being 100% honest. So
yeah, fair.
The way that you concert kind of that, you just look like a corpse. You're just yeah.
No, we don't get much concerts here, which is the worst part. So like
Yeah,
we had
T-Pain. You should
T-Pain,
have gone.
well, T-Pain 2 months ago,
You should
but
have
from
gone.
what people were showing me stuff from the concert, it actually looked kind of like lame. But T-Pain's part was cool. I didn't know anybody else. But Lil Wayne's coming here, and then the Acacia Strain is coming in February, so I'm actually going to go see them.
Isn't Acacia
But
going with Lorna Shore? Isn't that
no, it's
show?
Lorna Shore. That's what I meant. It's just Lorna Shore. But it's
Yeah.
Lorna Shore's tour with Kabuli Khan and all these other people, and none of them are coming here. It's just Lorna Shore.
Mm-hmm. You should go see Lorna Shore. They're dope. They're so dope.
I mean, I will. It's going to be in February, so I have a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm. I started listening to some of Kabuli's like old album.
Mm-hmm.
Bangers.
Really good music if you love metal like us. But I'm just trying to think. Oh, in collecting news, Jacob, did you see that there was a leak for a Starkiller Force Unleashed 2 Funko?
Funko Pop. Wow.
Not that,
I didn't see it.
no. I mean, nothing that like, oh my gosh, I'm going to run out and buy a Funko.
I
It
mean,
was just funny because
there's the leaks for the Bark Trooper and the Phase 1 Captain Rex prototypes. Those got leaked.
yes, and Cody. Did you see Cody?
Nope.
That was another leak too. But I mean, we knew Commander Bakar was coming. We knew Phase 1 Rex was coming. It's just really odd, I feel like, to see like all these just picture leaks of pieces from the parts like coming out like as they are. But I mean, I'm not complaining about it
One of the
because
kids
it
that
kind of
work there,
hints
they
at
keep
things
pocketing the
coming
stuff.
later. Huh?
It's one of the kids that work there. They just keep pocketing the stuff.
No, but I'm excited for next year. I mean, if we're going to get 3 different main clones, that's already going to be insane. And they're all clones that people really wanted to see too.
Mm-hmm. It would be very cool, perhaps very nice.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing that's most notable for me on the Funko is that it's an approved design now for Starkiller, just because we only have Starkiller from the Force Unleashed 1. That opens the door for them to make a Hot Toy, a Black Series, like a lot of other stuff related to the Force Unleashed is now being greenlit. So I'm here for it. I think it's pretty cool that it's finally getting the love that it deserves after all of these years.
Agreed. It's I think they're starting to listen a little bit more to like the whining and complaining, to be like, Starkiller, please. I think they're just starting to realize that there's more of a market for it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, because just like how it was with Republic Commando, Sam Witwer talked about it on a podcast with Katie Sackhoff a couple months ago, but saying the person who voices Proxy, is that the robot from Force Unleashed? Okay, yeah, so the person who voices Proxy developed Republic Commando, and when the game came out, it was like, it did not perform well, like, at all. But that's because the people that were playing it were kids at the time, so they didn't get a voice. But now you can't go to like any Star Wars convention without seeing a Republic Commando or people talking about the game. So it's just the same treatment with a lot of these things where the people who really liked it grew up and now they have a voice. So
yeah, and it's the same thing for like with the prequels and the Clone Wars treatment of the figures now that we're starting to see from all those. It's just what it is.
There's too many prequel. Oh, I completely forgot. After 3 months, my Darth Sidious finally hit my pile of loot. So now I can ship my pile of loot and get my Sidious and my B2 battle droid with a few other figures. It was such a headache to get.
Yeah, I'm waiting on. We talked about my pre-orders last time. The few and far in between. I was thinking about like, because the Stranger helmet's supposed to come out like next month.
Oh, really?
It's supposed to be it's supposed to be like November. So,
okay.
So I was like, I'll just wait for it to show up at the parks and then I'll get it then. But now I'm thinking maybe I should pre-order it because I don't know if that. So we'll see.
Yeah, the pre-orders have sold out several times, but I mean, if you have park access,
It's
I
still
can
not.
imagine you can ask when it would hit the parks.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
This is a wonderful thing about the Disney company is they don't tell us anything. So I'll like talk to merch people and I'll be like, do you know, like, so like for instance, about a month, 2 months ago, they dropped this pair of Mickey Mouse ears for Tangled that Alexa wanted.
Mhm.
So like we were hunting for them like on a daily basis, and we were like, do you know like if you guys are gonna get more? And they're like, no idea. We get a shipment every night, and we don't know what's in it till we open the box. So they don't really tell them anything.
Good to know. Good to know. But that's a bit of, I mean, it'll hit the parks soon, and it always does if it's a product. But
We'll see. I mean, because they do have helmets a lot here. That's like
yeah, every other helmet hit Galaxy's Edge too. So,
but that's the one thing though. It's because like with the Acolyte didn't perform well. I haven't seen not even any of the Acolyte figures have shown up at Springs.
I mean, the Acolyte figures are kind of really hard to find now, regardless, unless you now just because my pile of loot is like ready, I might just get Master Soul online too. You just throw him in my order because I'm pretty sure he's available still. But it's like I know here I'm not finding them because there are way too many people on this island and a lot of like Black Series collectors.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably one of my biggest well, probably one of the only cons that I have of being here besides being sea locked is that if I want to hunt for like action figures and stuff, I have so many more people here that are interested in the hobby versus than when we were in Erie, we could show up to Target and be the only ones there for something,
You should just
know?
try swimming to the other islands and see if they have them.
No,
Perhaps
those
ride a
Targets are
pelican.
even worse.
Perhaps ride a pelican.
I'm on the most populated island, so we're supposed to get it.
Once on this island. Terrible show.
No. But yeah, hopefully they get more Star Killer stuff. That's where I'm at on that, at least.
Yeah, I for me it's like because I have like the Force Unleashed one set. I have that collector's thing. It comes with the Stormtroopers and the display. That's my favorite appearance of him. So I don't care if I get another one. Because I'm not like I'm no longer like a completionist. I'm like if I see it and I like it, I'll get it. So I don't. Does not really matter to me if it's a thing or not. But we'll see. So we do have to talk about this in major Star Wars news. Unfortunately, this past week we lost another legend. James Earl Jones passed away this week. He was like 93 or 90 something.
Yes.
Jackson texted me. He's like, "Bro, James Earl Jones just died." I was like, "You're lying." And then I looked it up and I saw the articles, and then I hit a quick sob real quick. And then I saw Mark Hamill's tweet, and it like made me kind of mad.
What did he tweet out? I didn't look at that at all.
He reposted the Vanity article about it, and all it said was #RipDad.
I mean,
I was like, he's trying to be funny about it. I was like, that's not cool.
Probably not. But no, that was super unexpected. I was literally like just finishing opening up the store, and I just pulled out my phone for a quick second. I think it was like Barstool or whatever. No, it was not Lantern. It was the first on my feed, and it was like James Earl Jones passed. I was like, "There's no way this is like real right now." And I just kept scrolling, and it was all these news outlets like, "Yep, James Earl Jones passed." My news on my phone updated me about it, and I was like, I was just in disbelief because I mean, we knew he was getting a bit old, and that's why he was stepping away from some roles. But like, still,
he retired like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
but it was But here's the thing now. So unfortunately, James has passed, but he created an AI library for his voice for Disney.
Yes.
So Do you think if we get another project with Darth Vader in it, do you think they're going to use his voice?
They absolutely will. And here's the proof of it, though, is that if you saw the behind the scenes of Kenobi, it isn't him voicing Vader. They publicly
the AI
state in
Vader.
the thing, yeah, they state that it's an AI version of his voice for Vader the entire time.
We
But
knew
he
this.
gave the permission to do that too, because he was stepping away because he said he probably couldn't do Vader anymore. So he wanted Disney to be able to recreate his voice to use Vader in the future.
Mm-hmm. So, but the thing is now that he's gone, he was still there to give his blessing to do it once. Do you still think they're going to continue to do it? That's my question. My compass points to yeah, they're going to keep doing it.
Well, yeah, if he created an entire AI library for his voice, yeah, they're going to use it.
Well, it's the same question. It's like if they want to make another Indiana Jones movie and Harrison Ford passes away, they have the AI library to recreate his face to make him young again. Do you think that they would do it? I personally don't think they're going to do it anyway, just because the movie didn't make money. But
I feel like it depends on the person. So, like, I mean, I could very well see Harrison Ford signing things before he were to die to be like, never use my voice, never use my likeness, like, keep me that way. Whereas it was for James, he wanted Disney to use his voice, and he created that intentionally. So that although when he stopped doing Vader and would eventually pass, then they could keep using his voice for Vader if they wanted to.
mm-hmm.
But there are other people who voice Vader pretty well, though, too. So, I mean, if they really can't and don't want to use him, there are other options.
Mm-hmm. I'm really starting to dislike AI. When it first when AI dropped, when it first dropped, I was like, this is cool. But the more and more it's starting to learn and the more and more it's starting to develop, the more and more I'm starting to really, really dislike it. Especially with Google. So do you know what Google Gemini is?
Yeah. Google
So
Gemini is the worst.
Oh, but it's the way that they market it. They market it as like a way. So it's like, oh, I can't think of a way to text somebody this thing. Let me ask Gemini to write the message for me. That's the way that it's built into our messaging app. It's right there. So it's like, I don't like that because then like what? At some point in time, you're not going to have like a real text message conversation. You're going to have just AI spitting back and forth at each other.
Jacob, that is the most ironic statement I've ever heard from a person who uses Google suggested quick replies to half of my messages. Hey, Jacob, would you like to? Coolio. Okay. Thumbs up. You are so.
Coolio is me. Coolio is me. Google can't create Coolio. Only
You've been using all of these instant replies to the messages that I be sending you about.
You want me to just 10-4 everything? I can 10-4 everything now.
No, that's cringe.
The text message I just received was hilarious. Anyway, but it's like, so that, well, because they were marketing that for not only text messages, but for like business emails,
sure,
which is like whack. And now it's like the more and more I see it in film, the more and more I get like a little worried. There was a show that just came out on, I can't remember if it was Paramount or if it was Max, but they had AI generated extras. And it like what didn't even look good. Like if you looked at them, you could just see like amalgamations of people. But if like you weren't paying attention, it looked fine. And now I'm like, I don't know. There's just a lot of jobs that like in my field that are it's like how a computer science degree and like a coding degree is starting to just fizzle away. Because AI can write code for pretty much anything right now.
But it's still not completely accurate is the problem. And I don't think it can get to the level of precision that we like care about too.
I don't know.
So I mean, like whatever AI, but I mean, like whatever AI tech Disney's using is something they privately own that works really well. Because you would have never guessed that James Earl Jones was an AI voice in Vader. That was like legit the entire time. And that was before a lot of the other advances that we have now with the different GPTs and other codes and stuff. But companies also get a lot of backlash for using it. So I feel like in publicity, it's not in their best interest to rely heavily on it.
The reason why they had a lot of backlash about it was the same reason why the acting strikes happened. Because they were basically saying that we'll scan an extra's face, we'll pay you one time for it, and then we own your likeness and we'll use it as much as we want to put extras into things. That was the big issue. So,
I mean, yeah, that's wrong. Morally, I would say that is wrong.
Quick bucks, though.
Quick buck. No, but I know just off the top of my head, I know Matt Lantern voices Vader is another person. There's also the guy in The Force Unleashed. Because I was watching a video about like different people who voiced him, and I mean, like, it's basically there. Like, it almost sounds like James. It's the uncanny valley of it just isn't him, but it's so close to like being true to like what he sounds like.
Nobody will replace him. That's just the end of the day. So, to his family, wish you the best. Thanks for being a cornerstone of my childhood and one of my favorite characters that I literally carry with me every day. So,
yeah.
Thank you, James. Rest in power. We love you.
Yeah. I've been in a mad Return of the Jedi mood lately. I'm just going to pop off one of these days coming up and just watch that. Just because I feel like a lot of, sure, everybody says Empire Strikes Back is like the best of the original trilogy, but I only push back against that and say Return of the Jedi is better, because I like the redemptive arc for Vader and then for Luke as well, as he's like traveling down the path of the dark side, and then Vader like ends up saving him and he's like, you were right, I was good. And that's like really impactful too. So it's like, there's a way I could honor James, I would just watch that.
Yeah, it's on paper Empire is better, but I enjoy Return of the Jedi a lot more too. It's my go-to. I always like, if I'm like, I want to watch an OT, I throw that one on. So But speaking on the OT in that era, Star Wars Outlaws, been playing more.
Ooh, yes.
Finally made it to Tatooine. I sent Jackson a screen grab because it's the photo. I love photo modes in game. I love it so much. I took this really cool over-the-shoulder picture of K-Vest looking at Han Solo and Carbonite, and I sent it to Jackson. I just had a fight the Mochi, the Rancor. So
Mochi.
That's Jabba's Rancor in Bad Batch gets sent to Jabba.
So you kill Mochi?
No, Jackson. Luke
Is
kills
she
Mochi.
safe? No, that's a completely different Rancor.
Well,
there are two different Rancors, Jacob. Mochi is the one from Bad Batch, and then there's a fake fan Star Wars moment. It is a different Rancor in Return of the Jedi.
Nuh-uh.
Yaha, it is. We had this discussion when we talked about Bad Batch.
Anyway, I didn't kill it, but I did knock it out. So
if its name in the game was Mochi, then that's the one from Bad Batch.
They just said Rancor. They didn't say its name. Maybe there'll be a data pad somewhere that says it, giving it like a little lore beat.
I need that lore beat.
Give me the lore. So, but I just got past that, and now Jabba's like, do some jobs for me. So I just started that. I have since the last time we recorded, I've only played Outlaws once, and that was yesterday. I've had like zero time to play it. Between just a couple more stuff for my internship, getting stuff squared away for my next semester, which, praise the Lord, I've been logging all my hours for this, and I sent them out, and this internship's going to qualify for 15 credits next semester.
Dang.
I know. So it's a full semester. So I should, in theory, I go back in the spring, and then that'll be it. The spring that'll be done.
Heck yeah, dude! Congrats.
Unless there's like a couple miscellaneous classes that they're like, you need to do this still. You need to fill this one credit for your major. So
could always take an extra course too, anyway, in the spring to fill out one credit.
I know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But other than that, most of my free time is because I just finished, as you can see here in my book talk era. Alexa made me read A Court of Thorns and Roses, and if you don't know, it's basically Beauty and the Beast but horny. And it was
Unfortunately,
it wasn't
Jacob
bad.
is in his reading era. No,
Well,
Maya hates the first one. She's read the
Maya's
entire
read them?
series. Yeah, Maya's read all of it.
Okay.
She's in her Sarah J. Maas era. She's read almost all of the books except I bought her the first book in the other series that Sarah J. Maas has.
The
Can't remember it.
glass.
But yeah, people will rave online and say A Court of Thorn and Roses is good. She hated the first one. She said the first one is so poorly done, but the rest of the series is better. I will tell you that. Because she enjoyed the rest of it.
Because Alexa was telling me that the first book, it's written as a young adult book. It's made for like teenagers, and then the rest of them.
But it's
like,
for adults, though.
It's marketed as young adult, so it's very shallow in its character development and stuff. And then like the next books, they get like a little bit more mature in their themes, and they fledge people out. So she wants to read the next one with me because it's her favorite. But overall, I thought the first one it was all right. I think I gave it was like a 3.5 stars out of 5.
I think I gave it like a 2.
Dang. But the next one's Alexa's favorite, so I'll be reading that one with her. But now that book's done, I'm physically reading for the first time Death Troopers because I've done the audiobook every other time. And Alexa's a big reader, and she's always reading a book, and it just gave me the itch to read again. So I was like, this is a good one because it's short. I already know it, so it's like the words that would usually be hard, like the names and stuff, they come easy to me because I know them all. And it's a tradition book. This will be my 4th time reading through this now, and it's one of my favorite books of all time. So I adore it. I'm really excited to get back through it. I'm on chapter 11 already. I started yesterday, which is big because I'm a slow reader. Because usually what would happen is I'd read an entire page and then go, yeah, I didn't digest a single word of that, and then I have to reread the page. But I've been going pretty strong with it, probably because it's familiar. But no, I'm enjoying it. And then afterwards, I'm going to go through Red Harvest again, the prequel to this. That I'll do on audio because they haven't done a reprint. Because this is in the Essential Legends collection where they've been reprinting a lot of the better Legends books. They just did a reprint of Pelagius. So
yes, I did see that.
That's in my cart on Amazon right now. I'll probably get that, or if I go to a bookstore and they have it, I'll probably pick that up because I have not read that book and I want to.
Me neither. I just didn't care for the Legends books since they aren't canon. But if you do want to check out Death Troopers or Red Harvest for yourself, and you don't really want to read the book because reading isn't your thing, or maybe you just don't make the time for it, there is a person on YouTube, and I forget their name for the life of me, but all you have to look up is Death Troopers book basically, and it's an hour-long video that you can listen to, and they basically give you the spark notes of what happened, but they tell the story all the way through, and it's really, really good to watch. It's a lot of fun. It's super interesting. It really puts you in the seat of it. Just because I was I'm not really going to read these books, but Jacob says that they're good. So I watched the one on Death Troopers, and I was like, wow, that was a genuinely interesting story. Let me check out the one for Red Harvest. And I like that one too. So if you don't want to read the books for yourself, there are alternate options online besides the audiobook itself.
You could do that.
Check out that guy on YouTube. It's free.
You could do that, or you could do yourself a better service and actually go through the book because they're just good. They're just really, really good.
Bird.
It's a tone that you don't get in anything else Star Wars from my experience. The only other book that Joe Schreiber has written about Star Wars that I know of is Maul Lockdown, and it's supposed to be a brutal Darth Maul book. So that's on my reading list too. That's not one that's been reprinted, so that's what I'd have to find online or get an audiobook. But the guy that re-recorded Essential Legends for this one, for the audio, has a really good voice. And then the dude that does Red Harvest and the Maul Lockdown book, I just don't like his voice. So I don't know if I want to do audio for Maul or if I want to do physical. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'm in my book talk era, I guess. I guess it's nice. I like it's something different because I'm always on here if I'm burning time. and I feel a little bit more productive if I'm reading a book.
You should always read before bed. It is scientifically proven to improve your REM sleep and just deeper sleep in general. Maya and I have been reading every night for quite a while now, but I mean, I have to read for my classes, which is kind of annoying. And so my personal books kind of get put on hold because I have a couple that I'm reading through right now. None are Star Wars related, and none would be interesting to explain to the audience anyway, so I won't.
Name drop them anyway.
Reading The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins. It's a religion-based book, but that's it. I really like it.
10-4. Yeah, because that's my thing. It's because I don't want to put myself in the slump of like where like I read something that I'm not enjoying all the way, and then I just end up dropping it again. That's what happened with Master and Apprentice, because I was going pretty strong. I like read like I think 5 or 6 different Star Wars books, and then I read that one, and there's just a slump in the middle, and I dropped it, and I stopped reading completely. So
I just kind of slumped off on Thrawn. I was in the middle of is Lesser Good the last one? Or Lesser Evil, my bad.
Lesser Evil is the second, and Greater Good is the last.
Okay, yeah, I'm on Lesser Evil right now, but I kind of flunked in the middle because they're doing like space battles, and it's Admiral Alani, and they keep throwing all these people's names and ship names, and I'm like, what? So it kind of made me drop it. Do you listen to Rebel Force Radio at all?
No.
Oh, I was going to say the people on the show do not like the Thrawn books at all.
Oh, it's okay that they're wrong.
I like a lot of other things, but they were just like, Thrawn was just a hard read. And I was like, what? There's someone who consistently comments on our podcast too, who's reading the Thrawn books, and they replied to the Comic-Con video, and I need to check it. But they're like, we will wage a war at Lucasfilm if Eli Vanto is scrapped. And I was like, I'm right there with you. If they get rid of all of the things that they put in the Thrawn books, I would be devastated.
Yeah,
because the Thrawn show even connects and references the fact that Thrawn meets Anakin. So it's like, ugh.
It's yeah, those books are fantastic. They are my favorites. If you couldn't tell, but I would recommend to you the audiobook for that, because it's so much happening all at once. The audiobooks are dramatized, so you get like sound effects and you get music, and you get Mark Thompson doing different voices for all the different characters, so it helps you keep them separate. It really helped me digest like a book like of that scope, where it is like a lot of big names like Admiral Aralani, and it really, really helps, and it really kept me engaged. Especially like
maybe I should do that.
You really should.
I'm doing a lot of podcasts on my way to work because it's like a 30, 40-minute commute. So it's like I either call people or listen to a podcast on the way just to kill time. But like, I mean, yeah, I probably should switch over to an audiobook. I'll see what options are available.
I'll give you my login for my playbooks, because I have the entire series on here. So
okay. And I know my Thrawn books are back with Mom and Dad, so I'll maybe just ask if they can take a picture of the chapter I'm on.
Yeah, because I have Chaos Rising. Greater Good is the second one, actually. My bad.
Okay.
And then it's Lesser.
Because I want to finish it. Because that's something I've like been like, oh my gosh, that is the one book series I didn't finish. But I've read almost 5 of the dang books already. And I love it. I loved it to death. It's just, I just did not make the time for the rest of it. And that was completely my fault.
I think the final Thrawn book is the only one I have on Audible. Let me double check. Oh,
said, let me go check. And then the cameras went a little wonky for a second.
Yeah, so the final one, Lesser Evil, is the only one I have on Audible, but I give you that login too. It's because they get like, we give you free credit towards the book. I said, yeah. So. I completely forgot. I have it on here. Oh, hell yeah.
You have what?
I forgot I bought it on like Stephen King's It on Audible like years ago, and I never listened to it. Spooky month book. Never read through it. and I kind of don't want to because of the stuff that he put in there. But maybe I'll read it. Also, Jackson, if you get bored, I have the Odyssey on Audible as well.
I don't like the Odyssey. I like the Iliad. No, the Aeneid. The Aeneid is infinitely better than the Odyssey.
Okay. I also have did you read The Reaper? The one about the Marine sniper? Well, the special ops sniper.
Which one? Dude, there's so many.
The Reaper?
No.
I have that on audio as well. And Black Spire. So you can go through Black Spire. That book's great.
Yeah, I should honestly read Black Spire since it is like a canon. That's something canon that they will not change just because the park is based around it.
They cannot.
So yeah, I feel like that's an untouchable book. But I was going to mention, by the time this podcast comes up on Friday, we are going to have something new and fun to talk about next week for Star Wars content. And that is going to be the Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy.
Yeah, it's coming out. It's one of those things that have been coming out. I'm just kind of like, oh, it's coming. I'm not like, I'm so excited for Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. You want to know what I am excited for? That's dropping next week.
What?
Losers might think I'm saying, it's Agatha, the Agatha show on Disney Plus. No, the Penguin on
HBO. I was going to say the Penguin drops, right?
I am so excited. I'm watching it. I'm watching it the millisecond it comes out. I have been waiting for this show. I am so excited for it, dude.
Yeah, that's going to be heat. No, but next week we will talk about the Lego special. I think the Lego specials they have a special place in my heart just because the people who make it know the audience that it's for. So they intentionally reference all of these crazy things and make all these meta meme jokes about Star Wars. So it's always entertaining because the people making it care about it. No, but I am excited for the Penguin. That is going to be a good one for sure.
It's one of my most anticipated things. That, and I've been trying to find time to watch The Boy and the Heron just dropped on Max. I want to rewatch it since I haven't seen it since you and I saw it opening night. So
yeah, the more I thought about it later, the more I was like, okay, I enjoyed that movie.
It's a good movie, so I'm excited to watch it again. And I have tomorrow off and I have Friday off, so we'll see. Nice. But I think that's pretty much all we had for today. We don't really have a topic. We were just going to yap. Yeah,
I felt like it was a good yap session too.
I agree. A good Star Wars yap session. The moral of the story is Jacob is not illiterate, and I'm touching a real with pages for once. With pages. So
moral of the story is we're getting a lot of clones next year for the Revenge of the Sith anniversary, which is going to be so, dude. Because what if they do that Cody and Revenge of the Sith packaging? Like how they've done Return of the Jedi. Well, no, the Cody's phase 2. That's a given from the leak.
Fun. I didn't see it, so. But it'll be cool. Maybe that'd be cool. Maybe they'll put the box in a different shade of orange.
That's true.
A different shade of blue. Anyway.
Well, no, Revenge of the Sith's red, so we'll be fine.
10-4. But thank you guys so much for watching us today. Have a good week. Make sure that you put your hamster in a sock and throw it against the wall. And
no, let's not do that. Jacob, roll the outro.
Hello there. This is Mark Thompson. I narrate a bunch of the Star Wars audiobooks, and I just want to make sure that you subscribe to the 1313 podcast on YouTube and join their Discord to talk about some awesome Star Wars people. Follow them on social media and be sure to support them on Patreon and become a channel member for only $1 a month. Also, you can buy awesome merch if you want to look as cool as them. It is not an exaggeration to say this podcast is a work of art. Punch it, Chewie!